I bought a Cereal Experiments Lane t-shirt on Redbubble. I think it's pretty neat. And it has a QR code on it, so you can listen to something on Spotify if you want. I just thought it was pretty neat. I could have a Lane shirt. And I could show off everybody that I'm a cool guy. I'm a cool guy. So the other day I was watching this video. I'm not going to say which channel it was or what video it was because that's inconsequential to the grander point. But I was watching this video and I had the impression that I should not be watching this. Reason being, it felt like it was a video made for a select amount of people. That certain content creator was a smaller content creator, a smaller YouTube channel, and it felt like they were making videos just for their friends. And I was listening into a conversation that I probably had no right to, despite the fact that it was available on a public platform and the video was public as well. It just felt like I wasn't really getting the full picture by being an outsider to that, being a third wheel, if you will. And this has gotten me thinking about this whole idea of private public content and accessibility for newcomers with specific types of content. Private public content mostly just being a dumb way to say content that you make for a very small demographic of people, but it's can be viewed by anyone. This isn't necessarily limited to the example I made where a video was made for like as an inside joke between a group of friends and I'm making this and because me and my friends were thinking about this or something, or me and my group. But it could also be something on a larger scale, similar to just being like a video game YouTube video, where someone as an outsider can, like someone who isn't a gamer, can be watching that video and stumble across it and feel like, well, this isn't really something I should be watching. Though obviously to a lesser extent, I guess it grows proportionally in that sense. That the more broad the topic gets, the less this feeling is. Um, but I guess this brings me to the topic of newcomers to content and stuff. So like if someone stumbles upon this video, for example, they're not really going to know what's going on with my channel. But I think that's holds true for pretty much any other type of video. Like any other type of channel too, they have a lot of inside jokes. Like if you're watching AVGN, for example, for the first time, if you go into a newer video, or like not necessarily newer, but one later, later into a season's, he might make jokes that you don't really get the full picture of, and the only way you can really get the full picture of those is by obviously going back and watching all the videos from the beginning. And this is something I've always felt obligated to do. Um, in terms of consuming content, that if there is something like if a large franchise, a large media franchise that exists out there, generally feel that it's best to start at the very beginning and just see everything it has to offer. That's what I did with the Nasuverse. You just got to start at the beginning and just see it through. Don't jump to the beginning. Don't jump around. Because a lot of people sometimes with franchises like this, not just a Nasuverse but other ones, they will want to just get to the good stuff, but that kind of undermines the whole point of what might make that good. Sometimes you see this with um, crap. I'm kind of blanking, but I know there's a specific types of franchises and stuff where people are like, oh, it only gets good until later. For example, with like Hunter x Hunter, 2011, for example, the Chimera Ant arc, and some of the later arcs where people or actually York New City comes before that actually, where the people are like, yeah, York New City is really good, and that's where it starts getting good. So you have to watch like 30 episodes before getting to the good stuff, and some people will just end up skipping some of that stuff. They might not want to admit it, but that's what they end up doing, and it kind of is undermining the importance of like the whole journey of getting there and the whole point of what Hunter x Hunter is about. It's about the journey, not the destination. I'm gonna turn off Flux because fuck Flux. Eye strain all day. But I guess this kind of gets to this. Like with YouTube, this isn't really much of an important thing because with a lot of channels, a lot of their content is disconnected. They're just making very self-contained things, and I think YouTube generally tries to encourage this type of stuff. Occasionally, you do see a series of videos, like numbered videos, for example. Some people don't like to number their videos because of this, because it will discourage people from clicking on them, though some people still do this because it's necessary. But I mean, this goes back to the whole like accessibility thing. That sometimes, like the point is that people are lazy fucks. They want to put in as little work as possible to get the most enjoyment out of something. So if there's an easy way to do it, they're just gonna do it, and that's why, uh, like, I guess longer videos aren't. I mean, I really enjoy longer videos, but the average person probably doesn't. That's why, and plus they're a lot of work to make. So, um, I guess that's kind of it. But like generally, YouTube channels are not narrative driven, I guess. Some channels are, and those are the type of channels that I feel that you should start at the beginning and get the full picture, um, and to see what that person is about, see what how they think and what makes them think. Um, but this gets me back to the point of sometimes I feel like I'm watching something that I shouldn't be because it's made for a very niche audience or just made for some small group of people, and I feel that I'm not a part of that. Even though I might have seen a lot of the earlier videos and know kind of what that person is about, not directly. There's still a lot that I don't know about them, but I feel like a third wheel in that sense. And this brings me back to I guess this is a deeper rooted issue with myself that I find it very difficult um, to associate myself with anything because I always feel that like whatever my knowledge or my ability with something is always inadequate, and it kind of it doesn't make me feel that it's I don't have enough qualifications to be considered part of this group. This was a big thing when I first started watching anime and getting into anime. I think I talked about this before in my uh, animes and RPG with only side quests, where I felt that there was a required reading list of things before I even joined in any discussions online because I wanted to be able to point at different series and make connections because that's what being a database otaku is about. Being an otaku is about becoming a database animal, after all. And to be able to draw connections between things, that's what the brain does best. Drawing connections between two things to help you understand them better. And without that perspective, I feel that you're losing a lot of what might make anime special because it's a very incestuous medium after all. But um, where was I? Yeah, so I felt like I needed to consume a lot of these series because I felt that it was, I guess, required um, to be within the conversation. And even when I did that, there was always someone who was seeing more things than I would, and always have more of a perspective than I would. So I felt that I always really didn't have um, good things to say about something because I didn't have that grander perspective, or there was always someone out there who has seen at least one more anime than I have, 100 more anime than I have, thousands more than I have. So I was just always feeling inferior. I guess some sort of inferiority complex in that sense. That's why I tend to talk about even now. I tend to talk about things that I feel very comfortable in because either I spent a very long time researching them myself, or like it's something that I feel that I've consumed enough to the point of that I'm able to do a decent job about discussing it. And even then, I'll feel that I'm not. There's always someone out there who will tell me that hey, you missed this thing. Even like with Under 17, for example, I've been listening to Under 17 for a couple of years now, and I've listened to their entire discography multiple times. Sometimes it was the only thing I was listening to for a long stretch of time. I've listened to those songs dozens upon dozens of times, but even then, like when I was making my retrospective, I felt that I was missing something there. So that's why I occasionally will default to talking about something that no one really cares about, or like a random anime series that no one really cares about, and that's where I feel like I'm able to give to really get going because there's probably no one who will say that I covered something wrong or I did something wrong or I said something wrong because there isn't really anyone who has seen it. It's more about introducing people to the thing um, than anything. That's why a lot of the series that I end up talking about, like there's some popular series that I'm a fan of, but I don't feel that I have an adequate ability to discuss them. The only series that's popular enough that I talk about quite often is Origairu, because I've spent uh, a number of real life years thinking about that series and researching that series and doing a lot of um, reading on my own to get an understanding of what the hell is going on. And after like a half a dozen essays I've written about it, I finally feel that I have a moderate amount of understanding about it. But even then, I don't feel that like it's worth making a video for. Like with that's why those things are off exiled in WordPress where no one will read them. So I guess it's generally speaking, I guess some inferiority complex I have. I don't think that's the right way to say it. It's this feeling of not, or like it's a grander feeling of not. It's just a larger. It's on a bigger scale of feeling that I don't belong with something or within a specific group. The alienation that you feel that you will never uh, measure up to everybody else within that specific thing. That's why it's hard to say that hey, I like um, I like Precure a lot. I haven't seen every Precure series, so that's not something that I try to make uh, like a huge thing. That I do. If someone will ask, do I like Precure? Yes, I do. Star Twinkle Precure is on my top 10, and I love Precure. Every well, for the most part, every series that I've seen from the franchise, I've enjoyed a lot. I also like Toho a lot. I haven't really played too many of the games, and I'm terrible at playing the games. Uh, but I enjoy the lore and the characters. That's something that I'm into. But compared to a lot of other people that you see threads online of people going really in depth with their interests in it, I'm hesitant to say that I'm a fan of Toho. The people I talk, the people I've told that I'm a fan of Toho, are people who have no idea what Toho is. So they don't really have a basis of of judgment and saying like, oh well, you're not a real fan. No one will. I don't think anyone will tell you that. I mean, certain image boards might tell you that, but like if you're talking to another person, they're not going to say you're not a real Toho fan because no one's a real Toho fan. Is anyone a real Toho fan? Um, I don't know. I'm really bad at Danmaku games, but I enjoy them a lot. Also, the music is really good. But generally, I guess I always felt that there was this need to know everything about something. And how did I even get here? I was talking about private public content and accessibility, and somehow I started talking about my inferiority complex. Now I can't talk anymore. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That was an interesting rabbit hole. I can't keep a schedule for the life of me, honestly. I really like to have schedules, and I'm someone who feels that they should have a schedule in their life, but I can't really keep them at all. I back in high school, I used to have like a planner or stuff. They gave us a planner in our high school, and I would meticulously plan out my days in school because I had very limited time after school and after practice and everything. Uh, that I needed to know exactly when I was doing homework and how long it will take. And I had that planned out by the hour, almost sometimes almost down to the minute, because I knew how long some of these things would take to do the minimum amount of work required to have it marked as completed. And this practice carried on into university. And I would always have rigid schedules each day about like what I needed to do and like how long it would take and when I would do it. The problem is that this is a hard habit to kick. It sounds like a good thing, but it really isn't. To a certain extent, it is, but like all things, it's good in moderation because at some points you will get into a bad habit of wanting to schedule things that should not be scheduled. Um, and I always felt that I wanted to live without a schedule. Living completely without a schedule would be terrible. But sometimes, when I get really worked up about scheduling things, like, oh, I'm going to watch anime for this amount of time per day. I'm going to sit down and play this game for about 2 hours, and then I'm going to cook for like a half hour or something, and I'm going to eat for a half hour. But the problem is when something goes over, like I end up cooking for an hour or something, or I get sidetracked, and I start watching a lot of YouTube videos, or whatever. Um, like my schedule is thrown off, and then I get really worked up about getting back on schedule and figuring out what needs to be cut. Usually, I end up saying, well, I could just not sleep for an extra, for I could like hold off on sleeping for an hour or something, whatever. I don't need to sleep. So I just really hate having schedules that I think they're a good thing to some sense because they add some I mean they add some structure to your day. That's what they're intended to do. And they help keep you on track, especially for some people who get distracted a lot, as do I. But I think it's a good thing to have just items listed in a bullet point. But if you start to list things with like how long it will take and what time you should do it, I think it ends up being a bad thing because sometimes you're not motivated to do something at a certain time, and trying to do that during a certain time slot if you're not motivated to do it could be a bad thing because you might be able to argue that hey, um, you're never going to be motivated to do it in the first place, so you might as well get it over with. But in my experience, at least for me, when there's something that I'm trying to do and I'm not in the mood to do it, I will just end up beating my head against a wall and not get any progress done. If anything, I'll just get worked up about it and like for the same amount of time and get nothing done with it. This has happened a lot with a lot of projects I will do. Like if I'm trying to figure something out and I just can't for the life of me figure it out and I get to a point where I get stuck, be it like writer's block or if I'm trying to work on some sort of project on or like some sort of programming thing on my computer or whatever. And like I just am unable to continue. I get to a point where like everything fucks up. Um, I used to just like I said, beat my head against the wall and try everything that I can, and inevitably screw up even more and give more work for myself and get more stressed out, and then ruin my day. But I think it's better to just take a step back during times like that. That it's just gonna be more inefficient to keep beating your head against a wall, and you're just gonna be like it's not good for your head. Like you're just not making any progress, and if you spend 2 hours not making any progress, and it's you're just gonna feel even worse about yourself than if you wasted a half hour and gave up and did something else instead and completed that other thing. Um, so that's why I kind of feel that schedules are not a good thing because I end up scheduling things. Staying on a sleep schedule is kind of good, um, but at the same time I don't like it because sometimes I force myself to go to sleep at a time that I don't want to, just because I know that if I continue staying up, I'm not gonna be. I don't know when I'll wake up, or I'll only sleep like 3 hours, and then I'll get on a schedule of only sleeping 3 hours, and then I will inevitably like get sick or something because my sleep schedule is all off or something. Um, but like I said, there's some things I should schedule and some things I shouldn't. Being a hikikomori currently, as well as a neat, uh, keeping schedules are a good way to put structure in your day and try to figure out what things you're going to do per day. Otherwise, you will just be kind of in limbo and like sink into some sort of lethargy or depression or whatever. So, not that all schedules are bad, it's just that being autistic and micromanaging a lot of these things is not a good thing. All right, time to get up. Time to do something here. Oh shoot! I'll put these on. should I leave it? I'm not going to see anything because the lighting is bad, but I assure you that I am not completely in the dark. Actually, let's turn this one on over here. I can see a little bit. Gonna do something here. Gonna do something. Let's see, where is it? There we go. Ooh, what is this? What is this? Nesquik. Nesquik's great. Nesquik is great. I used to drink Nesquik a lot when I was a kid. Not so much now. We have this thing, but this thing has literally been sitting in our pantry for months. No one except me drinks it. And while I was at uni, it just kind of sat there. So this is what we're gonna do. Where should I put this so we can see what is going on? Does that work? This is not gonna work, is it? Actually, if I put this here, this is the worst setup. The worst possible setup. Let's see, if I do this, maybe it will stay. Yeah, kind of. This reminds me of when I was doing Eternal Sunshine of the Javelous Mine, when I was filming that, because I didn't have a tripod for any of that. So I had the worst camera setups possible. For example, there was one, I actually have a video for it. I might put it up unlisted somewhere. I might. But I would have to edit out because I had like my face and everything in it. But when I was filming one of the sections, where like I was drinking the soda, and like behind me, and, like my face was silhouetted by my monitor, where there was a number of gifs of Yukino and just smiling and like looping. What I did, I had my chair, and then I had like 3 figure boxes, a giant box of Pop-Tarts, like one of those giant ones that you could buy, Pop-Tarts, and then like one Olnaho box, and my 3DS, and my 3DS was there, like just opened halfway, and then my phone was like sticking out over it, and then like this was all on top of the desk, and like if you looked at it the wrong way, this thing will fall over. But I had that propped up like right here, and then my desk was right here, just imagine. And then like I was like I just like snuck in between those two in like a space that was like no bigger than this, and just to get the shot. And there was a number of other shots that were just totally retarded. Like the Eternal Sunshine one. Oh shoot, I just dropped something. Where I'm lying on my back on my bed, I just taped my phone to the ceiling. That was cool. But there's a number of other ones where I really wish I did like a making of thing, because there was a number of really creative things I did that were really dumb. So we got the milk poured. Okay, get some next quick. Open it. I'm gonna do like 1.5 spoonfuls and see where that leaves me. You know what? Does Nesquik expire? Because this thing has been here forever. I mean, it still smells fine, but it's Nesquik. Oh, there's something on the bottom. Oh shoot. It doesn't say. Well, it does say. I'll put this over here. You can kind of see. I'm gonna have to focus. 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 Well, it's not gonna. It doesn't want to focus, but it says something 21, and it got cut off. So we're gonna have to find out if it expired. Well, if it expired, hopefully it wasn't like January. If it expired in June, I'll deal with that. But I used to eat like expired bread all the time. Because I would buy Walmart bread because it was really cheap. It's really shit, but it was really cheap. Hard, not even $1. That thing expired in like a day. Uh, not really. It expired like a week after you bought it. Maybe even less time, but like you could at least eat that bread for like a week after expiration. Or at least I did. I just ate it until I saw mold growing on it. I don't think you're supposed to do that, but I did it anyways. I bet this is expired actually, but it tastes reasonably fine to me, so I'm gonna continue doing it. I'm gonna put this away. I don't know why I just filmed me making nesquik. That was so random. Lol XD. Usually at night I'll drink tea. I've already drank tea today. Just regular green tea. Look, guys, it's Japanese. It's Japanese. I also have this matcha thing. I haven't made yet because you need like a whole grinder thing for it, or you put it in a smoothie. I actually have smoothies pretty often, but I haven't made this. This was stupidly expensive, but I made my parents buy it for me. And then this thing, coconut green tea, which is actually pretty good. It looks like some dumb organic neem tea or something, but I thought it was actually pretty good. I usually just drink regular like no frills tea, like green tea or Earl Grey. I'm more of a black tea kind of guy, but green tea is probably good too. There's also like this apple cinnamon one that's pretty good. Where is the lid for this milk? Tea is pretty good. I enjoy drinking tea. My brother says I'm a tea addict. Because like during the winter I would drink tea like 3 or 4 times per day. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, right? It's water. I kind of feel like I want a snack here, but at the same time, I just had dinner maybe an hour ago. I think I'm just gonna have my Nesquik or something. Just throwback to the good old days when I was like in elementary school, and I would have like a glass of milk and some cookies before bed. Those were the days, weren't they? I'm not sure. Was that just something I did, or was that like a universal thing? Pop-Tart. Just grab a piece of Pop-Tart. That was something I did all the time when I was a kid. Milk and cookies. Let's go back. Go back. Watch some YouTube videos. I've already seen a handful of anime episodes today, so usually around this time. Let's see. 11:14. Usually around this time, like around 11 or midnight. Now I'm watching YouTube videos. I go into my watch later and see what the hell in there that I've been putting off for a long time, and then inevitably watch something that's not on the playlist, and then add like 3 videos to the playlist. So it never ends. At one point, I had like 1,000 videos on my watch later, which was utterly insane. I never ended up watching them. I just went through and deleted shit that I knew I wasn't gonna watch. But yeah, let's see over here. Some slice of life, more slice of life. Torrents, right? Someone is, yeah. I'm like one of the only people seeding this. I think that's Dokusei. This is one. Dokusei. Yeah. Oh, we finally got fiber. we finally got fiber here. Let's see, speed, sped. We finally got fiber in my house. Prior to this, we had been actually, I'm not going to show that because it would say my location where it says optimal server. But prior to this, we had been using what was it? Like it was so bad. We would have what was it? In my parents' house, we had the most terrible internet. We had like average internet from 2013, and we haven't upgraded it since. But now we have fiber because our ISP finally offers fiber, and we have gigabit internet now, which is crazy. That's what I had back in my apartment. Or I mean, that's at least what I had because we had a fiber line going directly to the nearest big city. And we'll see here. Let's see. Oh, hey, look at that. That's pretty nice, isn't it? That's pretty nice. Just wait till we see the upload speeds. I don't think the upload speeds are even that good. I mean, they're good, but we used to have like not even like our download speeds were not even 100 megs. I think I just showed the internet speed or the location. But I bring this up because I used to like when I first came back home. I'm gonna open up my channel and see which videos exactly it was. Somewhere in here they are. Somewhere in here I uploaded a video. So the video, I think I uploaded this one back when I got back home, because I had filmed it like the last day I was living there. No, I for sure Insomnia Cookie review. But then this video, and then even my under 17 one, up until I think where I went all wrong, question mark, or maybe even this one. No, where I went all wrong, I think was the last one. I don't remember exactly. But like all these were uploaded on this terrible internet, because my upload was like 200 kilobits per second max. So it would take like 2 hours to upload a video. Actually, I think Under 17 Retrospective was the last one I uploaded on our slow internet. Because I distinctly remember thinking that if I did, I'm thinking about like bitrate and stuff, and I was like, well, I'll just do a shit bitrate, just whatever Premiere Pro 480p encode does, because the 480p encode that it did was fine. And it was about like 1.5 gigabytes for this, which was pretty decent. But I was thinking that like if it was any larger than that, it would take hours to upload. And even this one, this took 2 hours to upload. That was ridiculous. But now I have fiber, so like I uploaded my hikikomori video, and then I have this other one. It's probably going to be out before I upload this one, which is Nightcore. That was another long video that was over a gigabyte. And that uploaded very fast. But I was lucky when I did something like where I went all wrong, because that was just an image. The video file was like 50 megabytes maximum, because all it was an image, and then only really the audio file, which is just a 256 kilobit per second MP3 attached to that. Or actually, it's not MP3. It's Advanced Audio Codec. I think that's what it is, AAC. But anyway, that's enough rambling. I'm gonna get back to what I was watching and drink my Nesquik.